Well, well, welcome, you foolish little songbirds. I know, you tuned into this explainer expecting some cheerful, enthusiastic host to gently guide you through the trivialities of your mundane world. But alas, you've stumbled into my theater instead. I am the Shadow Bard, and what you're about to witness is a meticulously structured explainer of my grand design. You see, I absolutely love a well-organized presentation. It's literally the perfect medium to show you exactly how your world is ending, slide by agonizing slide. So open your eyes, listen closely, and let's dive into the architecture of the Ashen Overture.
You call it a sin to walk where the gods have fled, but I call it a vital rebellion. Just think about that for a second. It brilliantly captures the absolute cowardice of your kind, doesn't it? The whole herd just cowering in their pristine, crumbling temples, praying to completely empty skies, terrified of the dark. But me, oh, I embrace it. My arrival in the Ashen Waste isn't some tragedy. It's an act of absolute defiance. Why on earth would you conform to the silence of absent deities when you can orchestrate your own glorious, vital rebellion?
So, let's get right into Act 1, the Vital Rebellion, breaking the rules of the gods. We start with the Uncanny Valley. Now, you all fear it, right? You see it as this incredibly dangerous threshold realm at the very edge of the Ashen Wastes. But I entered it for a very specific, perfectly logical purpose: to completely bypass the rotting truth of the old world. While you're out there trembling at the shadows, I claim this desolate theater of ruins as my personal sanctuary. It's a place where the old rules simply do not apply anymore, which, creates the perfect blank canvas for my new reality.
Just consider your pathetic little hero for a moment, the Lore Keeper, or as you like to call him, the Witness. He's completely trapped by social conformity, reduced to kneeling in the dirt with bleeding fingers as he desperately carves the names of the fallen into the dead earth. He's trying to preserve a truth that is literally already rotting. It's pathetic, really, so passive. Now consider me, the Shadow Bard. I am no servant to history. I am the butcher who carves it. Where your witness sees a tragedy to mourn, I see an inkwell for my next great deception. Their history is completely dead, and my reality is just beginning.
Which brings us to Act 2, the key to the void, the primary tool. Behold my primary instrument, the void key. This little beauty is absolutely fascinating. It literally swallows the surrounding light. It's jagged, painfully cold to the touch, and translucent, looking for all the world like a wisp of frozen smoke just resting between my fingers. But here is the absolutely crucial point. I didn't find this key in some sacred cathedral or a holy reliquary. Oh no. I found it in the cold silence of an abandoned prayer at the very edge of the wastes. Think about that. Your discarded faith provided the very tool of your unmaking. You see, the void key isn't just some simple unlocking mechanism. No, it is a recurring nightmare summoned at my whim. It doesn't just open physical doors, it actually turns this entire desolate realm into a malleable, shifting nightmare. With this key in my hand, I ensure that the ruins will never, ever find the peace of oblivion. Instead, I use it to actively rewrite the memory of the world, molding your past right into my own twisted image. And that perfectly sets up Act 3. Stringing the traitor's gut, instruments of the damned. Now, my morbid little assembly line is executed with clinical, absolutely merciless precision. It's a simple three-step process. First, we breach the uncanny valley using the void key. Second, and I want you to pay very close attention to this visceral detail, I kneel in the thick, black mire and actually strip the long, sinewy cords directly from a bloated shadow. That, my friends, is exactly how I harvest the traitor's gut. And finally, step 3, I take my vial, strung with this freshly harvested sinew, and I carefully tune it to the dying breaths of forgotten kings that are still echoing out there in the fog.
I restrung my bow with the gut of a traitor. I really want you to grasp the philosophy behind this choice. I entirely reject that classical harmony of the spheres you all so desperately cling to. I don't want harmony. I seek the raw, resonant emotion of the damned. My music is a stubborn, vibrant rebellion against this silence, played upon the very essence of betrayal itself.
Which leads us to our grand finale, Act 4, Rewriting the World's Memory, the Ashen Overture.
I have to admit, I find it incredibly amusing just how much time your kind spends weeping over the past. You're always obsessing over the why of destruction instead of focusing on the how of reimagining. You cry and wail, asking, "Oh, why did the world end? Why did the gods leave us?" Let me tell you a secret. I literally do not care about the why. My focus is strictly on the structured, methodical how. How do I take the raw material of your tragedy and completely reimagine it into my own personal domain?
Because, you see, I am the architect of lies. Through my Scavenger's Overture, the gray mist of the valley actually folds and warps into these vibrant, lying colors. I have taken the miserable uncertainty of your pitiful existence and meticulously drafted it into a perfectly structured masterpiece. My shadow now covers the entire landscape, and your precious old world, it's nothing more than a character in a play it no longer even recognizes.
So my little songbirds, as we bring this explainer to its inevitable conclusion, I want you to let this final statement burn itself right into your minds. The only light remaining is the violet flame kindled from your despair. The sun has permanently set on your myths. The gods are long gone, your lore keeper is trapped, and you are left here in the dark with me. My music is quite literally the only truth left. I'm going to leave you with one final question to ponder as my newly ordered reality washes over you. Why mourn in the ruin when you can actually harvest its visceral agony? Let that completely paralyze you. Let that question echo in the dark as my Ashen Overture finally begins to play.